Hi, welcome back to our geometry series. In this video, we're going to talk about transformations, specifically reflections, and the reflection rules. How do I use those to find the new coordinates of A prime or B prime given some original coordinates? So my first two problems here, I'm going to reflect over the x-axis, and then I'll reflect over the y-axis. So here, I've got my original coordinates of A and B, and I want to know what happens if I reflect over the x-axis. So if I reflect over the x-axis, what happens is I take my x and y, the x is going to stay the same, but the y is going to change its sign. If it was positive, it's going to become the opposite. It will become negative. And if it were negative, then it will become the opposite and become a positive. So I keep the x the same. A is 2, 9, so A prime also starts with 2. But the y changes its sign. It was positive, it is now a negative. B prime, again, the x is going to stay the same, so 3 still stays 3. But that negative 5 is also going to change its sign. Just like it did in A prime, that y changed its sign. So it was negative, now it becomes a positive 5. All right, our rule for flipping or reflecting over the y-axis, here's the y-axis, it's the opposite of x, comma y. I'll give you a couple minutes to see if you can get A prime and B prime. I'd like you to pause the video and then unpause when you're finished to check your work. Okay, so you should have paused the video and completed the work by now. And the answers would be, it's negative xy, so it would be negative 2, 9. B prime would be negative 3, negative 5. And then for y equals x, what would happen is, y equals x, notice you started with xy, you're just going to switch the order. So instead of xy, you get y comma x. So I'm going to take these two numbers here, and I'm just going to switch the order. So A prime becomes 1, negative 1. And I'd like you to try B and C by pausing the video, and then once you're done with your work, unpause it and check. This would be negative 3, 9. And this would be negative 4, negative 7. Now the rule for y equals negative x is xy maps to negative y, or the opposite of y, negative x, or the opposite of x. So you switch their order, you switch the x and y, put the y first, then the x, and you also change both of their signs. So on A prime, I would get negative 1, comma, 1. On B prime and C prime, again, I'd like you to pause the video and try this on your own. So you switch the order and you negate both of them, or you find the opposite of both. So this would be 3, negative 9. And this would be 4, comma, 7. So those are my reflection problems. Check back at the next video for translations.